Good people, great people, fantastic people, amazing people, and people that may not be all those things. What's going on? It's another week. It's another episode. Monarchs of Wrestling. This is your boy Cool McCain, and as always, I my, I mean,
The week has finally arrived. The week we all been waiting for. No more weeks, just days. Just days now. All eyes will be descended upon the city of Las Vegas, Nevada, beginning on Friday, all the way through to Tuesday. It is WrestleMania week. This is going to be, in the words of the Miz, awesome.
It will be. You know, I say this. I've talked to a lot of fellow wrestling fans that may not be as hyped as they were for previous years for, whatever their particular gripe or qualm is. But at the end of the day, man, it's WrestleMania. It's an event in and of all of itself. It's like when you're watching the Super Bowl and you may not have the teams that you want in there, but that doesn't mean it's not a good show. You know what I'm saying? It's just maybe not the way you would want it to plan out. And before we start, I'm going to go ahead and cast my first stone at WWE. Strictly, directly at Paul Levesque.
Dang,
how dare you? How dare you had a nerve to have the War Raiders and the freaking New Day on WrestleMania and you don't have the Street Profits?
I wish you'd have let me get to that point.
No. I had a feeling.
I had a feeling you was gonna do that because guess what? I said the same thing on one of my other boys' podcasts when he did the last show and I was having to check it. Shout out to Dre Day. I told him, I put in the comments like, so we got the War Raiders on the Mania card, but not the Street Profits.
I just want to say, when there's smoke, there's fire. If you know, you know. All I'm saying is, better team can be thrown out a little bit better, like can be seen a little bit better, can be presented better, and they actually have two solid tag teams that you could just made a triple threat match if you want to, or fatal four-way. But instead, we get to see the War Raiders and the New Day. The New Day without Big E is trash. Okay? Good guys, bad guys, tweeners. Two little guys trying to go up against the War Raiders. If the New Day win the belts at WrestleMania, everyone should riot. Unless they have help from multiple people. There's no way they should win. I'll take it a step further. There is no way they should be on WrestleMania card.
You know, the funny thing is, you is the first person that said that I have heard say that about the New Day.
The New Day without Big E is trash. What have they won? Who have they beat? The LWO? Who doesn't beat the LWO? Like, seriously.
I'm just saying, you're the first person that I have heard said that.
You know why? Because everybody else ain't got the testicular fortitude to say it.
I'm just saying, I haven't heard that much negativity towards the New Day. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the New Day. As far as the WrestleMania act goes, are they a fine mid-level, mid-tier tag team? Yeah. As a WrestleMania title contender, that's trash. You got Kofi Kingston with no chest. And you got Xavier Woods that hadn't even won any individual championships. Since Big E was taken away from this duo, from this trio, how many championships have they won? As many as me and Playmaker. That's how many.
How many matches have they had for a title?
We can't have matches for a title if you can't beat nobody to get the match. So very disappointed, Hunter, Paul Levesque, in you allowing that to happen. And I know it was probably in the program, but I didn't want to wait. It's garbage. It's trash. And way to show people that you care about. I mean, the promo that was hit, the due date that see, you got me thinking about the due date. The promo that was hit by who was it? I forgot if it was Pretty Deadly or somebody else saying like y'all ain't even on the main card of WrestleMania.
That was the Miz.
That was the Miz. I knew it was somebody.
If you'd have caught on what I was doing,
I understand, but I just couldn't wait, bro. Like it
was the Miz.
It's been seething inside me, so I couldn't wait. We gonna talk
that's
about it later.
Know,
I just had to let you know.
That's how you know. I understand the people that I'm working with. I know I can see something. I can say, "Oh yeah, that's gonna get talked about." I already know, so I need to go ahead and fit that in there some way. I knew coming in. Oh, I knew coming in. I did the same thing with Cole Johnson.
So we have the some comments here. So we're gonna jump into
the comments been flowing.
Yes, they have. So Cole says, interesting how TNA is still having Joe Hendry carry the company with a dinged up wing. I agree, by the way, Cole, we haven't really talked TNA tonight just because we want to focus on WWE. But I will say this: they don't have anybody else that can do it. Like straight up, they don't have anybody else.
Then let me go and start another thing from my boy Drady. Y'all go tell a friend, because the Monarchs are previewing Mania week tonight. So,
and then Cole says, and this basically sums up the week for AEW right here. Candyman is too busy talking to his pusher man while Jon Moxley continues to drive AEW into the Grand Canyon. We don't even really need to say anything else about AEW or TNA. Cole just pretty much simple up.
Oh, by the way, speaking of AEW, we talked about it last week, but Cole Johnson was not around to listen to the great Cool McCain talk about it. Have you done your homework on the whole Swerve and Booker T situation?
Yes.
Because Cole Johnson would love to hear your thoughts on that, sir.
All right. Before I get to that, I'm going to just hit these last comments, and then Cole, I'll give you a quick synopsis. And anybody else who may hear this that didn't hear last week or, whatever. All right. So Yolanda says, hey, fellas. What up, Yolanda?
My sister. Hope you're doing good.
Cole says, give me a Bianca Belair heel turn with the Women's World Championship.
They know the crazy thing is, me and Cole, we've been on that bandwagon ever since they did what they did. Ooh, we've been on that bandwagon hard. Like, go ahead, get the IWC what they want, so we can sit here and laugh at them.
Mm-hmm. Cole also says, good evening, Monarchs. Good evening, Mr. Johnson. He does also say Triple H need to have the Street Profits be featured on the Go Home SmackDown before WrestleMania. Let's gloss over the fact the SmackDown Tag Team program has been featured better than Raw. Oh, we have to gloss over that, sir. And that's the match that you have to have? You already have the Andre freaking Giant Battle Royal that you're going to do. So basically you're saying the Street Profits Tag Team title run is as important to you as the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And you know what?
I will say this. He did put an X to my fears of the Street Profit losing that Mania, because they not on Mania.
Anyway, Daniel Berry's Sports Highlight says, afternoon, everyone. What's going on, Daniel Berry? And then Cole says, something tells me we're seeing Big E interfere at WrestleMania. Otherwise, this is bogus. I mean, honestly, even if Big E interferes, still bogus. You know why it's bogus? Because it shouldn't be on the card. They should be on the Go Home episode of SmackDown, having a tag team match against somebody.
Yeah, everybody gonna be on SmackDown.
That's where they should be. They shouldn't be on no WrestleMania.
Everybody gonna be on SmackDown, so.
Yolanda agrees with me. Yolanda says, I agree with Cool. Thank you, Yolanda. There are some logical wrestling fans out here. Cole says, well, Xavier Woods was king of the ring once. And then he gives you 3 rolling on the floor, crying, laughing emojis.
Yeah, Roman Reigns destroyed that very quickly, too.
He did. Yolanda says, "You're right. I don't have testicles." Then she says, "Laugh out loud." That's true. That's true. And then Yolanda says they're probably going to have a pre-show match. Man,
I don't think they do pre-show matches anymore.
man.
That's
Triple H
all
only going to
AEW
have
now.
4 matches on each night.
No,
Also,
no, I got that one. No, it's
I will.
it's a respectable length. Okay, it's to your liking. NXT, but I can tell you, WrestleMania night 1 and night 2 is to your liking, sir. The number of matches.
To say something else.
The number of matches. I got you. The number of matches. The number of matches is to your liking, sir. The number
I
of
know. I'm just saying. I'm exaggerating when I say 4. I'm exaggerating. I know it's more. I saw the complete card. There's a couple of ones that ruffled my feathers. Okay.
Oh, we know.
I'm gonna wait till we get to the rest of them before I say anything. I'm not gonna say anything until we get to. But when we get to the match,
we know.
I'm gonna say what I got to say.
Oh, we know.
All right. Damien says I'm more pissed that Chelsea Green and Zelina isn't at Mania more than the Street Profits. Well, you know what, Damien?
Be honest with you, Damien. There's something going on about that too.
Absolutely. Sam says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Sam?" And then Damien says, "This Mania may be the worst Mania since Mania 25." Damien. And this is as sarcastic as I could be, Damien. This is as sarcastic as I can be. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but this is as sarcastic as I can be. How can a Mania that has a triple threat match with no title on the line as the headline for night 1 be a bad Mania? How is that possible?
I'm just.
What up, Bobby? Bobby Beamtown Breakdown says, "I think Heyman gonna side with Seth and screw both Roman and Punk."
Ooh, what took place on Raw? Ooh.
Yolanda says, "All I'm gonna say is a lot of matches suck." I'm adding a Y, y'all, but subtract the Y from what I'm saying. That's what she's really saying. Yes, no Y. You figure it out. And I 1,000% endorse this comment. Cole says WrestleMania 25 wasn't bad. WrestleMania 9, on the other hand, the last time it was in Las Vegas. And then he just trails off. Yes.
Yeah. He's in Las Vegas this year too, so I don't like the sound of that. But anyway.
So yeah, Cole. So I for Cole and anyone else who may have not caught last week, I'm gonna kind of make this quick because I want to give us
that comment off first.
I got some things I got to say. So when we get to
say
the match,
take that comment off where you confuse people.
Oh, sorry, I got
WrestleMania up there. You finna talk
about
it.
I got into my mode. You're right. My bad. So, this will be another commercial-free edition of Monarchs of Wrestling, by the way. So, my thing is this started off some comments that Booker made, and then Swerve went on to we went on the podcast, I think like Vlad TV or something podcast, and they asked him about Booker T. He had some less than pleasant things to say about Booker T. Right? Once he said those things about Booker T, Booker T responded, "Oh, you need to focus on you and blase this and blase that." So then, people were talking about it. The thing is, and this is jumping around a little bit, Cole, but I think you'll catch it. So when after AEW, whatever that thing is, because they have something every week.
He was not happy about that pay-per-view, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the pay-per-view was trash anyway, but
Revolution,
the trash show.
Was it Revolution?
We're just gonna saw AEW Tornado Trash Show, and at the end of the night, Swerve said F Booker T. So Booker T's like, "Oh, you're doing the wrong thing. You're taking the focus away from yourself, and and you guys, and you're worried about me. I'm not even there, and blah 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 blah." So here's my issue. Booker T, you're very hypocritical in what you're saying. Like, I'm not the actual issue itself is you talk about me, I'm clapping at you. A lot of people saying like, "Oh, Swerve shouldn't say that about Booker." Booker has been dogged by WWE, and he still supports them. He's still behind them. He still carries the flag like a good old houseboy for them. And they've done him wrong. over time. And there are other options, places he could have went and been treated better. Remember, he did leave for a time and go to TNA because of how he was being treated in WWE. Let's not forget that. But he glosses over all this, it feels like, when he's talking about WWE. Because when Booker T is talking about WWE, WWE is getting glossed very nicely by Booker T. So one of the things Swerve was saying is like they don't even like show you love like that. But
Dynasty.
Booker T, yeah, it was Dynasty.
Okay.
Yeah. But Booker T loves just to have something to talk about. He loves to cut some type of promo on anybody because that's what Booker T likes. And that's why he keeps feeding it, because he knows Swerve's going to respond.
Here's the thing. Didn't Booker T have a point? Because most people were talking about Swerve saying that Booker. So the spotlight.
But if they didn't talk about that, what were they going to be talking about, Playmaker? How garbage that show was. Dynasty was a hot, steamy pile of monkey poo. And Swerve saved it by saying F Booker T because people are talking about that instead of the 5 hours of monkey poo we saw.
So you saying Swerve doing that was actually benefit to Tony Khan?
They're talking about AEW. They're talking about Swerve. They're talking about Booker T. And they're not talking about how poorly that pay-per-view was booked. Outside of Tony Storm match, which wasn't even great, but Tony Storm. Yeah.
Okay.
There wasn't a lot of
pretty much. So pretty much what you're saying, two things can be right. What Booker T said, which is actually happening, and you're saying actually helped AEW because nobody's really thinking about Dynasty.
Right, because Booker T's still talking about Swerve. He's not saying I'm not worrying about Swerve. I'm gonna just move on. Boom, boom, boom. He's still talking about Swerve too. So you're doing the same thing you accuse him of doing yourself because you continue to talk about him. See what I'm saying? And the whole basis of the issue is what Yolanda said right here. WWE has an issue with treating black talent fairly. They have. They do right now. I.e., 2 big fat white dudes are champs, and they're going to be on the pay-per-view. And then you got the black tag team champs fighting the night before. Anybody who doesn't like the way I put that, it is what it is.
I mean, somebody said they don't see color, so.
Well, somebody said they don't see color, but they sure do screw people that's the color they can't see. That's what that is. Long story short, to me, is Booker T protecting WWE because that's his love. And Swerve like, nah, man, I'm not backing up. I'm not backing back from what I said. Look at how they treated. Look how they treated you, and you sit up there backing them up. But now some of the game he's giving Swerve may make sense in other situations. But again, for me, if Swerve hadn't said F Booker T, we would be talking about how bad that show was and how trash the outcome was. So to me, he saved Tony Khan and them with that comment. He should get a raise just for that comment. But don't go in Tony Khan's office or talk to him from outside or meet him. They'll go in the office and danger.
All right. So basically, 2 things can be right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
But I still agree with
you're not saying Booker T is wrong. You're saying he's hypocritical, is what you're saying. But you're not saying he's wrong.
He's not necessarily wrong, but it's hypocritical. And he's wrong in trying to defend Swerve's comment. Swerve was right. They don't treat black wrestlers the same over there. They don't. And instead of just saying, you know what, that's his opinion, that's how you feel about it. Maybe that's the experience he had or whatever. If you want to be company boy Booker T, you ain't had to come out and do all and do extra. So that's the gist of my thoughts, Cole. I could go on further, but there's a lot we got to get to.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You're coming right there, sir. That's what you were waiting on. There you go.
Let's run through the rest of these comments, and then we're going to get into it. Cole said, I told Playmaker all you have to tell Cool is Swerve appeared on Vlad TV. Facts. Bobby says, cool. I mean, you tell me if I'm alone on this tape, but I feel like a lot of these matches have zero buzz around them. Not too much to move the needle this year, just my thoughts. People talk about the ones that have zero buzz. For sure, my boy. And I do agree. There's more that don't have buzz than do. That's because the wrong people are in certain matches.
That's fair.
Cole also says, oh, My bad, y'all. I messed things up on my side here for a second. All right, Cole says, I gotta get back to the comment, y'all. Swerve spoke at the end of AEW Dynasty. I wish he didn't say anything to further Booker T cutting promos on his own podcast. I agree, but at the same time, I think he actually saved AEW, like I was saying, Cole, just because that pay-per-view was trash. Yolanda says, I agree with Swerve. WWE has an issue with treating the black talent fairly since forever. I won't disagree. And Yolanda says, exactly. My boy Bobby says, WWE has always buried black talent, even going back to the Attitude Era. These are other people saying it. And Bobby, just for y'all that want to know, is a Caucasian male. Okay. So he can see it as well. Sometimes I know it's not all just people of color. Damien says, my thing with all these wrestlers and people that work for WWE is if you hate this company and knowing WWE controversial history, why are you doing tryouts and trying to get a job at WWE?
I got this one.
Yes, sir. I'll let you have that one.
Damien, what is the biggest wrestling company in the entire world? What company can you go to? And the fact that you step on that main roster, your name is out there. You supposed to say the same thing. If you don't like the NFL, why you play for the NFL? Because it's the biggest freaking league in the freaking country. WWE is the biggest wrestling name there is.
Yolanda has a great comment for that too. I'll go ahead and hop up here. I'm gonna use the Ted DiBiase here. Money, 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 money.
Like, it's not that hard to figure out why. You want to get to the big, right. You want to get to the big leagues, and guess what? Some people might have to go different routes. But if there's an opportunity that comes your way to get to that big league right away, you ain't even to say no to it. What do they always say? Cool. Just get your foot in the door. Just get your foot in the door. If there's a way for you to get your foot in the door, you're going to take that chance.
Right. Bobby reiterates that. People go to WWE because of money, money, cash, rules, everything around me. Cream, get the money. That's why they go. Because they pay the most. Wrestlers go for the bag. Damien tries to defend himself. TNA, AAA, CMLL, AEW, New Japan. There's more than one companies.
But TNA is basically NXT. You forgot Cool merged TNA and NXT together. You basically WWE all over again.
And then Yolanda says, "Got to do the laugh with it." Cool. You don't want me to do the laugh tonight, Yolanda. I'll let your brother do the laugh. The you guys laugh it. It ain't gonna sound right.
Damien, you picking on the little things. When the giant company says, "Hey, you want to try for the WWE?" You ain't finna say no to that. You're like, wait a minute, I can get my foot in the door right away.
Right.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Even if you go to NXT, you're still in WWE.
If you go to TNA, you're still in WWE. You just ain't getting paid like you in WWE. Cole says, "Will said cool about Swerve and Booker T." Appreciate that. Yolanda says that's why Sasha and Naomi left, and that's why Sasha won't go back.
But Naomi did, and guess what? She about to be on a. If things go the way this thing going, they might put a rocket on her.
They might. About time. Philly Philly says, "Here but late, extremely excited for WrestleMania." That's why we all here. We definitely excited about WrestleMania.
Oh, you good? We ain't even get to the car yet. You good, Philly? You ain't even get to the car yet. We ain't even started.
And then Bobby says, and all those companies combined don't have 1/4 the amount of fans WWE has.
I mean, there's no comparison. I mean, are you going to go to the Canadian Football League over the NFL? Are you going to go to the UFL League over the NFL? No, you're not.
Right.
No, you're not.
Right.
Just Absolutely. What can I do to get my foot into the door of that company that I'm going to love? That's the route you're going to go. That's how it is.
Agreed.
Despite the history. They're the juggernaut. Everybody else isn't. They tell me I can go ahead and try out and do that. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have done that. You just don't know it. A lot of people that you probably see in TNA, AEW, and all the other wrestlers, they stepped foot in WWE at some point in time. It didn't work out, but they got some knowledge about it was there. And they took it. They did elsewhere with it. So they can get back to the WWE.
And knowledge is important. In case y'all ain't know, knowledge is important.
Remember, this Cody Rhodes was not always this Cody Rhodes.
This is very true.
He left, went to around the independence level for like what, a year or two. Then started up AEW. Did what he did in AEW just to make sure he got back to WWE. Cody Rhodes always wanted to come back to WWE. That was his goal from the get-go.
That's correct.
Drew McIntyre, same way. Left WWE, did independent shows for some time so he can get back to WWE.
And fun fact, Drew McIntyre was in a group called The Rising in TNA with Tungaloa.
Now you have some people like Swerve and Mercedes Moné that said what they said. Even though I can see Mercedes Moné, she gonna try to come back at some point in time. I just know it because when you got a taste of that stage, you want that taste again. Hell, even the guy that this guy don't even like in AEW right now, Chris Jericho, he ain't even running out going back to WWE. What does that tell you about WWE?
I would love for Chris Jericho to go back to WWE because they would shut him up. They'd be like, "No, you can't do your own promos. You have to do what we say," and that would be the best thing for anyone who's a Chris Jericho fan. And I'm not saying this from a place of hate. I'm saying this a place of complete honesty. You want him to go somewhere where they're going to give him a script and tell him to make it his own and not let him come up with his own stuff.
Man, I'm with Swerve. I'm with Mercedes Moné. Hey, you go over to AEW. You can do your own thing. It's working for Swerve.
It's working for Mercedes.
Fans can debate if it's working for Mercedes or not. Depending
it's
on
working. She's a champion. She got a bunch of championships.
She got 4, but no, I'm saying if you're a fan, you can debate, but you can't debate. She has 4 titles.
Sure, she got the championships. The other stuff, if you like her and you feel like her she's being put out as the best version of her, that is what it is. But she's a 4-time champion right now. One of them is the AEW TNT championship, I believe.
TBS.
Okay, TBS is the women's. I always get them backwards because they're the same belt, really. It's just TBS versus TNT.
So
that's the new bootleg television championships, I guess.
Even though there's other smaller companies, none of them compares to WWE. They just don't.
Nah. Especially since they merged with TKO Sports, bro. Come on.
That's the only reason why.
Got a few more comments here, Playmaker.
Oh no, the comments are flowing. I see them.
All right. So Charles Harbin says, "Let's go Cena." To which the only thing I can respond.
What's up, Charles? That's my
Cena sucks.
That's my good brother right there.
Gotta say Cena sucks on that. And then Charles also says Stardust. Yeah, the Stardust thing. I got to be honest. So I know we're getting off topic here, but there's a thing that they were going to do with Cody Rhodes. I actually saw the vignette for it. Terrible. Worse than Stardust. They were going to do Rhodes Enterprises and have him be like a Tony Stark type character. It was terrible. It was horrible. Stardust was better. And if anybody knows me, know how I feel about Stardust. Not very good. But the Rhodes Enterprise, worse.
Yeah, I know. The look that you gave me 2 weeks ago said all of it.
Right. But I would rather see Stardust than what they were going to do. The Rhodes Enterprise. Just want to say that. Damien says, all I'm saying is Swerve knew what was going to happen before he signed the W contract, so he shouldn't be crying. Actually, Swerve came from the independent scene, so he may not have known what was going to happen. And once you're signed the contract, it's signed. So when you find things out, you find them out. See, the thing that you're forgetting, Damien, is when his contract was over, he didn't re-sign. which means he found out how really it was, and he left. You're making the assumption that everybody's telling people like, "Hey, bro, if you over here, you this color, this is what's going to happen." Right? That's not necessarily happening. People are finding out when they get there. It's starting to come out in the public now. We knew it, but it wasn't being said. And you always feel like I'm that one that can break through, even though it's only going to be a few. Then you find out, oh, I'm not. Let me get up out of here. And then Yolanda has a very poignant comment that we'll have to discuss on a different platform one day. But she says it's not just WWE; it goes on in most industries. This is very true. And Bobby says whether the WWE uses them to their full potential is arguable, but wrestlers go to the W to make it big and get paid. Yes, you ain't get no lie from me there. Cole says, Chris Jericho, don't let me run the same campaign I'm doing for LeBron James. Retire now. I'm with you for both of them. Damien says, I really wish Jericho went into space with Gail King and Katy Perry and stayed in space for life.
Wow.
I don't have a problem with that statement.
I bet you don't. It's just interesting to see. This is where Jericho has made it now. Jericho has made it to the point nobody wants to see him anymore.
Right. Beantown Breakdown says, whether people like it or not, WWE is the top of the mountain for wrestlers. Very true. BS3, Morning Shift with Cole Johnson says, Stardust was better than Rhodes being a Tony Stark knockoff. Wow, that's horrible. I agree, sir. And I do not like Stardust at all. I can't stand Stardust. But that would have been worse. And they had Brandy in it.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, this makes it even worse. Snowman Multimedia says, hey.
What's up, Snowman?
What up, Snowman? And he says, Dear the Brick, please retire now.
Oh, yeah, you ain't catch it, but Cole Johnson was on one on Swinging Lights Out today. He was on one. You have to go back and watch. He was on one.
I will definitely have to go back and watch.
That man took over my show.
I will have to go back and watch.
So, all right, now that we got that interesting discussion out the way, very good discussion. Didn't expect that one, but hey, I'll take it.
David says if Frankie Kazarian can go to space too, I second that emotion.
Why say Frankie Kazarian catching the strays too now?
Hey,
which by the way, Joe Hendry did the whole babyface gimmick, and he's going to wrestle at Rebellion. And he's going to retain the TNA championship. So, how did you feel about that? I was like, bruh, you have a rotator cuff injury.
It's gonna be. I think if he's gonna wrestle, they're gonna hopefully, because this ain't AEW, so hopefully they're gonna find a way to make it as safe as possible for him to wrestle. You know, maybe a short match, maybe some outside interference. You know, something to make it as safe for him as possible. And still allow him to, you know, defend the championship so they don't have to take it off.
I'm just saying that man couldn't even move his arm.
That's all I got. I mean, that's all I got.
To get in the ring. I'm like, he can't even move his arm.
Or maybe have him get hit in the back before the match and then he can't make it out or something. Just do something.
All right, here we go. This is what we're doing. Have fun. Oh, shout out to AJ Francis winning one of the triple threat matches for the internet. It's the international title, not the intercontinental title. International title.
I saw that later. Yeah.
International titles. Let's go, AJ. Go win that title.
It's one of the 50 belts they got in AEW, but I cannot ever accuse anyone for plagiarizing AEW because AEW took all the belt names, all of them, with the 50 belts they got.
So let's see if AJ Francis can grab the TNA International title.
I would love to see him do it.
All right, now this is Mania week. Let's get into it. First on the docket, we do have a Hall of Fame class, don't we?
We do, sir.
I already know we talked about it earlier, but just to give you all a recap, Cool McCain is not a fan of the matches getting inducted into the Hall of Fame?
No,
he's not a fan of it.
Cool
So
is not. Cool is not a fan of that at all.
just so y'all know, so y'all won't be, if y'all see him go off about anything Hall of Fame worthy, it's because he's not a fan of the matches getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we have Lex Luger going in. Still don't have Wardlow who's inducted him yet, because we're trying to get Sting, but we don't know where the matchup is at with AEW and WWE. I mean, just
Tony Khan. You have to take Tony Khan some high level powder. You can get him.
Just let Sting do it. Sting ain't wrestling no more. That man retired.
Right, he's in the backstage. Let him go ahead and induct his best friend. Don't do that.
Let Sting end up. Let's look into the Hall of Fame, and the whole wrestling world is in pace. That's this is simple as. That
Don't
is
be
all
him.
it
It's
is.
got to be DDP. There ain't nobody else.
Who else is? Oh, Michelle McCool is going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, she's getting inducted by her boo.
Who I would have preferred her closest tag team partner.
That would have made more sense.
But I ain't gonna fault Mark Calloway showing up and doing it.
Me and Mark Callis.
You trying to be funny? Actually, I'm getting an update right now. DDP looks like DDP will be the one that inducted Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame.
Y'all gotta pay attention to me. I know what I be talking about.
There'll be no Sting, unfortunately, which kind of sucks.
And it don't cost much to pay attention to me.
It's being said that nobody asked Tony Khan for permission, so which is interesting. If nobody asked him at all,
I think that's poppycock and hogwash, personally.
I'm just reading the report on MSNBC.
Okay.
MSN. I'm just reading the report.
I don't believe it though.
Live research, people. Live research. So yeah, and we got some more Hall of Famers, but I'm not seeing them on here. But I know they're saying that CM Punk would be the one to talk about the match between Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 13. CM Punk gets that on there. It's gonna be kind of weird. I guess they want to create. I guess they want to make sure that the great moments got lived on, and forever. But it just look like you still not a fan of, because you want to be honest. The King of the Ring promo was the birth of Stone Cold, but the WrestleMania 13 match was the launching of Stone Cold, if that makes sense. I want to see how this plays out, because they got, let's see, they in Vegas, so SmackDown we going on from 5 out there to 7, and then I guess they got like a couple of hours to get ready.
2 hours.
So over here in the East Coast, we won't be seeing the Hall of Fame till 10 o'clock. If we're lucky. On a Friday night, by the way. And plus, Triple H is getting dubbed in the Hall of Fame. And Shawn Michaels is doing the honors. So you telling me y'all can have Shawn Michaels induct Triple H into the Hall of Fame, but we can't have Layla induct Michelle McCool in the Hall of Fame?
No, sir.
This is what he was talking about earlier. It really just hit me to this day when I said Shawn Michaels inducting Triple H. And then again, knowing Stephanie, man, she probably didn't want that spotlight either. So that's probably the reason why. So that's going to kick off WrestleMania week, even though we do got SmackDown beforehand. To be quite honest with you, we don't care about the Andre Giant Mobile Battle War.
Never have, never will.
The Street Profits and Motor Machine Gun would take place on SmackDown, which is another crazy part. So y'all have War Raiders and New Day on there, but not one of the hottest new tag teams in Motor City Machine Gun on the WrestleMania card. On top of the fact the Street Profits ain't on the WrestleMania card. The better tag team division is on free TV, while the other tag team division makes it to the Mania card. Just throwing that out there. I know you more focused on the Street Profits, but I'm gonna give Motor City Machine Gun their flowers too. What else? Is anything else happening on SmackDown that's coming up that I can think? Oh, for the first time since Elimination Chamber, John Cena will be appearing on Friday. John Cena would be on SmackDown. And you know who else is going to be on SmackDown? So we get one last, I'm calling it right now, one last face-to-face before their match at night 2 of WrestleMania between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Yeah, everybody going to be there. So we might see CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins there too. Which, by the way, how do you feel about Seth Rollins now?
If I can be 100% honest with y'all, I don't care about the whole angle, to be 100% honest with y'all.
Okay.
But I think they will do some stupid mess like Seth Rollins is the one that walks out with Paul Heyman in the championship. I could see him doing it. I mean, with Paul Heyman, ain't no championships on the line. I'm sorry. It's just I'm used to main event matches having championships. Apologies. WrestleMania main event matches normally have championships involved. My bad. There was a direct, purposeful shot too.
I know it was. Remember when I said it's a possibility that Seth Rollins could be leaving with Paul Heyman? I got some little blowback, and then Monday night happened. I was like, "What? God darn!" Now Paul Heyman owes Seth Rollins a favor. Good gracious. Paul Heyman, ain't you wearing out of favors right about now? And then what you think of Paul Heyman? He not going to betray his best friend CM Punk, but he not going to trade his Tribal Chief. They ain't the same match together. He had to pick one or the other.
That was a stupid comment. To me, this whole angle is stupid.
So
that's just me.
Thought that was interesting. All right, now let's get to NXT Stand and Deliver. Let's get into Mania. Now that I got all the nonsense out the way. Sorry, but I had to get the nonsense in there, sir. As of right now, there's only 3 matches on Stand and Deliver. One of them is the Women's North American title that Stephanie Vaquero relinquished. So far, we have Zarya. We have Kalani Jordan. We have Soruko. You need to add some more people into this mess, but I'm pretty sure they'll figure that out tomorrow.
There's a lot of cakes in that match already, by the way.
All I just need Soruko to do a slow snatcher from the ladder. That's it. And I'll be happy. Tell you, that is like my favorite finishing move now. I love the slow snatcher. That is just awesome. But whoever wins it, you went through hell to get it. That's all I'm going to say. Do you like Kalani Jordan's chances this time? I mean, she was the first one, but do you like her chances this time to go around? Why you think somebody new's getting that title?
The problem with trying to pick this is they ain't even got the match full yet. As far as I feel like, I think she does have a good chance though. She's kind of went a little bit of a character development. She's less of a bubbly, happy girl now. A little bit more focused, a little bit more serious, and she does seem like somebody that they're putting in the mid card and leaving there for a while. So I could see her winning. Yes.
I'm picking the field.
But I would take the field over if you're talking about the field. I take the field over.
What I thought was going to be a triple threat match turned into a fatal four-way. All because my girl returned just in time. The women's NXT Championship will be contested in a fatal four-way. Stephanie Furcari defending against Jordan Grace, Jada Parker, and the return of Julia. I know a lot of people are waiting on Jada Parker to finally get a championship. But I'm picking either Stephanie Furcari to retain or I'm picking Julia. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Jada Parker fans out there. If I'm being completely honest, when they added Julia to the mix, I was like, yeah, I think that hurt Jada Parker chances of catching that elusive title that she's been wanting. I don't know about you, sir, but this is how I feel.
I mean, I feel like they both have a solid chance. It just depends on the narrative that Shawn Michaels wants to go with. And he more iffy than his buddy Paul.
I'm going Stephanie or Julia. I don't know about you. That's my two picks.
I could rock with that.
You can rock with that.
I feel comfortable about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. But I said she gonna pick up. I knew when Julia came back and did what I said, she finna pick all four of them. This one, she's finna pick. This one turns over for the four-way watch. And sure enough, Stable the Camera went back there. I won all of them. Yep, here we go. What happened to the simple one-on-one matches, man? What happened to the simple one-on-one matches?
They don't exist anymore, sir.
Jeez.
They don't do those anymore. One-on-one.
Just throwing that out there. And then the main event, NXT Championship, Oba Fini defending against Trick Williams and Javon Evans. By the way, Javon Evans was the one who ate the pin on Tuesday because Trick and Oba got into it. Javon is on the come up.
The ruler. The ruler.
You sticking with the champ. Yeah, I might stick with the ruler too. Hey, I'm stick with the ruler. I'm gonna roll with you on that one. But Javon Evans on the come up.
He is.
He's on the come up. Dare I say, Trick Williams better start getting on his game before Javon Evans surpass him. Because Javon Evans is coming. All right, we got our NXT delivered picks in the chat, sir. You want to go through them?
Yep. Let me get back up to the top here. I'm just gonna go through all of them real quick. So we'll start here with Bobby. He says this might be a hot take, but Logan Paul has the charisma and the work ethic to really be something in WWE. And he's got a massive following already. That's not a hot take. He's just a complete jerk as well. Damien says, question, who really wants to see Orton versus Solo at Mania? I would have preferred Aldis versus Orton or Black versus Orton.
If they do Solo versus Orton, that's good for us because we do not want to see Orton versus Black because that's not a win-win situation.
It's not. Yolanda says, are they inducting matches now? Yes, Yolanda. That's what it's come to. Damien says Lex Luger shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. I don't care either way. Some of the stuff is like whatever. Some of it just ticks me off, and some of it I like. More probably the tick me off range now. Cole says Tony Khan snorts cocaine. We ain't having Sting induct the cripple in the WWE Hall of Fame. Snort another line. So all I can say is that's cold blooded.
I think you put that in before I got to the article. So.
Yeah. Damien says, thank God it's on Peacock so I can watch it on the replay. Damien also says, why isn't Ray Phoenix on the main card? Is the real
just
question.
get there. The man only been there for 2 weeks. What you talking about?
With Damien. All right.
I mean, so, 2 weeks in, he supposed to be on Mania already?
He wilding. Damien says Kalani wins it. He says Stephanie Valkyrie retains. Victor Nash says, what's up? Who do you think the 4-time champion is going to show up on Raw? Who knows?
It could be anybody.
Yeah. 4-time champion. They got a lot of people that have won belts 4 times. You know what I'm saying? Could be somebody that won the hardcore championship or the 24/7 championship 4 times. That's...
Oh, you know what? Miro.
It is Miro. That's who it is. Yolanda says, I want Miss Parker to win, but I don't think she will. I'll never be mad if Miss Parker win. I'll never be mad. Cole says Stephanie Valkyrie has to retain, but Miss Parker may take the pin. Damien says Javon Evans wins the title.
I don't see it.
Yeah, that's wild for me.
I don't see it.
He'll probably take the pin. Cole says you got your one-on-one matches, Jay versus Gunther, but the IWC wants to drop turd pellets all over it. Oh, they're loving it now, Cole. They're loving it now. They're not dropping pellets anymore. After all, they're loving Jay. Oh, Jay, yeah, Jay, oh, Jay, oh, Jay, yeah, Jay. Great promo, Jay, oh. But anyway, Yolanda says they have too many stars and they got to get them in some way.
That's the problem.
Yolanda says, but yes, the ruler retains. Like I said, me and Yolanda Sarah a wavelength. We understand how this goes. Cole says either Oba retains or Javon becomes the new champ rolling with Dark State. Otherwise, the Stand and Deliver main event doesn't make sense.
What if it's Trick Williams? What if it's Trick Williams with Dark State?
Trick Willie, he's even wrestled a couple times with his hair down. So that's more of a tough guy. It's more of a crotch-grabbing tough guy, Trick Williams. So Obafemi loses only if somebody joins Dark State or is part of Dark State. I can rock with that. Victor says, isn't Oba going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal Friday?
Everybody's a part of it. Raw, NXT, SmackDown. Everybody's invited.
I have some TNA people. If he wasn't hurt, you might get Joe Hendry. You know what I'm saying?
Hell, Elias might show up back in WWE.
Might get Moose in that joint. BS3 Cole. BS3 Morning for Cole Johnson. I was just going to say BS3 Cole, but it doesn't make sense to everybody but me. Logan Paul has charisma, work ethic, and following. He also has the ability to turn my doggone channel every time I see him on my screen. Richard Nash says not Miro. He only won the U.S. title 3 times.
You said 4-time champion, and all ain't got to be the U.S. title.
Right. I think he did win something else too.
And guess what? He's the only one that I know that's actually not on the AEW anymore. Outside of Malachi Black, but Malachi Black has been rumored for SmackDown. But he's been rumored for SmackDown. You said Raw. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be on SmackDown. They already showing his vignettes. BS3 says, I love your take on the IWC. BS3 Cole Johnson loves that. Snow Time 72. What's up, Snow Time? Says Randy versus Solo, bloodline interference, and where here the bro Matt Riddle is back. That would definitely be a one-off because Matt Riddle is really runs.
If Matt Riddle shows up at WrestleMania, that would be the craziest thing ever.
It would be crazy. It would be noteworthy. Like F Booker T at the end of AEW. The AEW crap show. Damien says, I wasn't feeling that promo from Jay. It started off weird. Well, Damien, you're one of the only people, sir, because everybody else is Glizzy Goblin.
If you listened to us last week, we were saying that Jay Uso would need to tap into that bloodline Jay Uso. And guess what he did? He tapped into bloodline Jay Uso. And what does people love? People love bloodline Jay Uso.
Victor says Lesnar.
I hate to do this to him, but first of all, number one, Daniel Bryan is not wrestling anymore. Number two, Edge is still on the contract with AEW. Lesnar might be your only option, but we don't know what. But guess what? We don't know about Brock Lesnar ever since the whole thing with VMAC happened.
Victor, you got to realize they're saying 4-time champions. They're not saying 4-time world champion. This could be somebody who had 3 reigns as the United States champion, a reign as Intercontinental or Tag Team champions or Hardcore champion or something, right? Or NXT champion, because it's just saying 4-time champion. So you got to. WWE throws a lot of curveballs with that. But I would say if I were picking, I would go with what Playmaker said with Miro.
Because the fact that he put that out there, I had to remember. I had to remember he's not under contract with AEW anymore. I'm like, he's not in contract with AEW no more.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been already rumors about him returning to WWE. So if you see the Rusev again, you know why. So my sister asked the question. Which one of us is going to answer, you or me?
Who is ICW? I keep referring to, or CWI. What's the letters were? It's IWC. It's the Internet Wrestling Community. So the Internet Wrestling Community, they are very.
It's the group excited. That John Cena. It's this group that John Cena was talking about through his promos.
Yeah,
that's the group that you hear a lot of people refer to as the reason why some of the things that's going on in wrestling is because of them.
Yep.
And I took that from Bully. I took that from Bully Ray, by the way. And Bully Ray has some harsh words for them too, which I loved it. So yes. Oh, you can go with what Cole Johnson said too.
Yolanda Cole would like to let you know that IWC is a bunch of people who hate life.
They can't enjoy wrestling to save their freaking life, no matter what happens.
They cannot.
So if you ever go back and you remember to me when I was going off about when John Cena turned heel and why all this hatred towards John Cena, I was talking about the IWC. Because they called for the heel turn of John Cena. Now they don't like the heel turn of John Cena.
That they asked for. By the way. They wanted this.
They loved Jey Uso before he won the Royal Rumble. Once he won the Royal Rumble, he wasn't the right guy. What is up with y'all? Make it be freaking mine.
That's what we talk about, hating life.
They ask for one thing, then they hate when they get it. That's why I can't wait for Bianca Belair to turn heel. I'm going to enjoy it, every minute of it. Speaking of which, night 1. Oh, programming alert. We're previewing night 1 tonight. We'll talk about night 2 on Sunday. Just so y'all know. So catch us Sunday afternoon. We ain't come up with a time yet, but we'll let you know what time. Sometime during the week. But night 2, we're going to recap Stand and Deliver. And night 1, that's on that Sunday show, and preview night 2. So mark your calendar for Sunday. But let's go to night 1. As I'm looking at the card on night 1. You want to get the garbage matches out the way first, or do you want to split it up?
However you want to do it, sir.
I wanted to ask you, make sure
It won't be Miro, because I was trying to see if he won anything else.
Just the United States title.
It was just a 3-time United States title.
Okay.
But let me double check.
I still think he's showing up sometime because he's not a part of AEW
It
no more.
should be. I'm trying to see. Maybe he won a belt in NXT. Let's see.
All right, so let's start with this one. So each night has 4 title matches. Okay, each night has 4 title matches. Let's start with a title match to get the juices flowing. Let's start off with that aforementioned tag match that you can't stand. World Tag Team title. Royal Raiders defend against the New Day. Will we have new champions on the Raw side tag team divisions?
We shouldn't.
He's saying the World Raiders retain the World Tag Team titles. Let us know how you feel in the chat. New tag team champions for Raw? Or Raw is still war? I mean, if you could do all this, all right, the whole heel turn, the whole kicking Biggie out, all this other stuff, and you can't win the tag team titles at WrestleMania, that you're ushered on the card, what are we doing? What are we doing? That's all I got to say. Unless the only way, if you get screwed out of it. Man, the only way you get screwed out of is Big E show up. That's the only way. Because who else is going to help New Day? Who else is going to screw New Day out of the tag team titles?
Now they could have Odyssey Jones show up and help them win the belts, but it's going to have to be outside interference. For New Day to win, it's got to be outside interference. You cannot suspend reality enough for me to believe that Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods can beat those 2 large masses of men. Anything but chicanery. There's no other way I can accept that win. Poppycock, hogwash, haberdashery, and chicanery all together.
Damien won 3rd cold barrel in there.
Yeah, you know Damien do. He says I see New Day winning with the help of Big E. Londa says New Day should win because of the heel turn. Victor says, what brand do you think Jeff Cobb will be assigned to? You never know because it depends on how they view him. Because Hunter does things differently.
By the way, and plus we got a draft coming up after Mania, so
yeah. Victor says hopefully Raw after Mania will be good. Last year was a crap show. I gotta tell you this. I gotta say this.
He was actually.
I was at Raw after Mania last year. And it was amazing. I had no voice for 2 weeks. It was amazing. I don't know what you saw on TV, but in the building, it was lit.
And you talking about in Philly too? Philly is always a good place to have a wrestling show.
But that was lit. I can't say how it came across on TV.
No, it was good. But I think the thing was they was not too happy because we didn't have the usual unexpected returns. I know. I remember that. That was the main.
We didn't have Seth Rollins there. Seth Rollins should have came out. A lot of people wanted Seth Rollins. During the commercial break, you see there was some chance for we want Seth.
But me and Coots was telling y'all once he lost that title, we weren't gonna see. We weren't gonna see Seth Rollins for a while. That man actually had injuries.
I know, but I'm saying they wanted to sing that song one more time. They knew he wasn't gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like out to wrestle, but we just wanted to have him come out and whatever. Sing the
I know that, but me was telling him once he lose that belt at WrestleMania, we ain't gonna see him for a good minute.
No, I know, I get it, but I'm just saying that's what the people wanted. They just wanted a goodbye speech from him. This is why they can't win, Damien. This is why they shouldn't win without a lot of help. Is it B, or is this New Day gimmick sucks? Like they turned heel and taking L's make it make sense? All right. Surely this happens every once in a while. 1,000% agree with Damien.
So I'm on the New Day. My co-host is on the World Raiders. All right, I got to do it. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
So we talk about matches that shouldn't be on the card. Why in the fudge buckets is El Grande Americana or Rey Mysterio in a match at WrestleMania? Love Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is a Hall of Famer. Rey Mysterio was a great wrestler. Your time has passed, Rey. Why are you so? CM Punk was mad 10 years ago when he left about dudes just taking spots. Is this not two dudes who don't deserve to be on the card? What has the LWO done this year? This entire calendar, this entire year since WrestleMania last year, what has the LWO accomplished? How in
Let's
the
see.
fudge bucket should anybody from that group be in a match at WrestleMania? And then on top of that, El Grande Americana? What has this jabroni done to be in a match?
We still don't know who it is.
I'd rather have Ray Phoenix in that match than El Grande Chupacabra Americana from the Gulf of America. This is the Street Profits are not on, but these clowns are. Okay? This clown show of a match is there. This is going to be the match where I go to the bathroom and re-up on snacks. For sure, 100%. Because I will not sit there and watch this trash. And neither will the people in attendance.
Oh, boy.
I can give you several combinations of people that could have been on the show instead of that.
Oh,
But you know what? I'm not going to do it because there's an infinite number of people who deserve this match over either one of those two guys based on their performance.
Anything else?
I'm good.
We're good. Okay. I just want to make sure.
And I don't care who wins.
All right, sir. Feet to the fire. United States Championship match. LA Knight defending against Jacob Fatu. Two parts. Two parts, sir. Number one, does his match finish cleanly?
No.
And number two, who wins?
Fatu. I think there'll be, depending on how other things are going to go, there may be some people there or a person or people there, but they may not necessarily enter into the match, but they'll be there to cause a slight distraction. But Fatu wins that match.
You saying Fatu? My sister saying Fatu.
Yeah.
Cole Johnson said LA Knight should retain, but it has to be a nasty finish like a interference by Solo. Me and Cole Johnson.
See, this is
Solo screws Fatu again, not on purpose. Like the stupid mistake he did last time. Screws Fatu again, which is going to set up Fatu and Solo going to SummerSlam.
Damien says, whoa, wait a minute. Why we disrespected Rey Mysterio? Now, I get El Grande Americano, but Rey has done nothing in the past year to deserve a spot at WrestleMania. Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. He ain't. And ain't nobody going to tell you that. His own kids and his wife ain't going to tell you that. He going to tell you that. I ain't done nothing to be on this card, but I'm going to take this payday, but I ain't done nothing to deserve it. You're supposed to deserve these matches at WrestleMania. He doesn't deserve this match. He hasn't done anything. He's, as I said, all-timer, Hall of Famer, great guy. Your time is up. It's time to let some other guys get those spots.
Damien's with you. He's picking. He had an extra in there. Jacob wins, but he gets help.
See, Damien's with me, but I don't want to nail it down to one person. There's about 4 people who could help Jacob. Let's see. There's another guy who could help him. I so want to say his name.
I'm not saying his name. I'm waiting for him to SummerSlam.
But I'm not going to say it.
I think he shows up at SummerSlam.
But there's two other guys besides Hikuleo and this guy.
I think that guy joins Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns go to Raw. That's my thought.
I think that guy and Jacob join Roman Reigns and become a new Samoan SWAT team with possibly a fourth member. That's what I think.
Ooh, you add Jacob Fowler to the Raw too? Ooh, that's nasty work. If you add Jacob Fowler to the Raw, I don't see him win the United States title unless they're gonna switch the titles.
They're about to have a what you call it anyway. The draft gonna be in 2 weeks.
Oh, I know. That's why I said that. Yeah. Unless they're gonna switch the Intercontinental title and the US title.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be until he wouldn't be on Raw until after the move though, because they can't do any more moves until the draft.
Yeah, Friday is the last time everybody can show up on SmackDown until the draft.
Yeah, people been showing up on SmackDown for like 6 months, but now is the last time on Friday. Make it make sense. Right. You gotta do better with the stories. Make it make sense.
That's a question mark for the United States Championship.
And Cody be on Raw like every week.
A lot of interesting things that can happen for the United States Championship. You know what? I'm gonna keep it rolling with the championships. The match that's not the main event of night one, the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso trying to dethrone Gunther for once. If it's not now, then when?
Never. If he don't win now, just put him back in the tag team with Jimmy, and let's just let it go. It's now or never, like for real. It's not even if I care about it. Y'all know I'm a fan of the Yeeter of the worlds, the Yeeter of all Yeeters, the King of the Yeeks. But if you're not gonna put the belt on them, don't ever put it on him. Real talk.
Let's just keep it a buck. If it's not now, then when?
Never, ever.
We need to see Vegas yeeting after this match.
And if they win, I'll be yeeting too. If he wins, I will be yeeting as well.
And Pat McAfee gonna be yeeting the hardest out of all of them.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, I wonder if they're gonna bring Corey. Not that I thought of. I wonder if they're gonna bring Corey Graves up for WrestleMania, or are they gonna use Wade Barrett? Because Corey Graves, Pat McAfee, they did good last year.
Yeah, but Corey been acting up. Pat McAfee would be a better fit with Corey Graves. They could do a 3-man with all three of them.
That's why I asked that, because of course Michael Cole gonna be the play-by-play.
Well, Michael Cole might not, because he don't do stuff sometimes. Not because he don't. Well, both nights he might not do.
No, I'm saying Michael Cole is the play-by-play. He gonna be there.
I know, but I'm saying he might not do both nights.
You're saying they might give George Tessitore a run?
Yeah, you might get 3-man boost both nights and get a mixture of guys. Like it might be Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett with Corey Graves one night, because you could have Corey on both shows because he ain't doing nothing else. And then you could have Cole and McAfee and Graves on the other night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying Corey Graves, Pat McAfee, that was good last year.
Corey Graves does a good job. I guess he's just a prick.
They said about Pat McAfee too, but
Well, Pat's a different kind of prick though. Apparently, he's a fun prick.
All right, sir. Here we go. I put this in the middle on purpose. All right, this is it. There's no more waiting. All right, no more waiting. Jade Cargill, Naomi. We got a new look from Naomi. There was no glow happening on SmackDown for Naomi.
So this has two possible outcomes, right? I'm talking like the watcher right now. We got two possible outcomes. If there is no interference in this match, I see Jade winning this match. But Naomi did not get rid of Jade by herself. I believe that other person just beat up their partner, was going to beat up their partner after they lose the women's tag team championship match.
Unfortunately, that's on night 2, so it ain't going to work.
Oh, well, I think this person is going to, I thought it was on night 1, but.
No, it's night 2.
It's one of the other matches that's just.
I know what you were talking about too. Nope,
Yeah.
that's night 2.
Yeah, so I think we might get help for Naomi. In the form of a couple of people, one of a couple of people. Let me say that. Call it a day. But if we get help, if Naomi gets help, she wins. If there's no help, I think Jade wins.
That's the key question. Is there help? Are they going to go with the storyline that they planned on and say that Naomi had to help the whole time? And if they do, who is to help? And as much as Damian Priest is trying to join the IWC, it's not Bianca. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there right now. It is not Bianca. Okay. So that's the big question mark. But I'm gonna go with Jade. And I don't think this is a one match off, to be honest with you, too.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
I see them going at it again at Backlash.
Whoever loses this match wants more, for sure.
We're gonna go at this again at Backlash. I'm gonna pick Jade. Cause I think it'd be more feasible for Naomi to want more because she can come up with the excuses. Cause she's the heel. And as the heel, you can come up with excuses. People don't have to like it. I'm gonna roll with Jade. And plus, WWE brought Jade up to be a singles competitor anyway, so this is a good starting point to show why you
help her get her legs wet. That's all.
This is a good starting point for you to show why you brought Jade into WWE.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna pick Jade. I'm sorry. I had to feet to the fire. I gotta choose one. It sucks, but gotta choose. He picked Naomi. I picked Jade. Even though we really don't want to choose, but we do.
No. I picked both in different situations. If there's no help, I'm picking Jade. If Naomi gets help, I'm picking Naomi. Just so we're clear. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there I go. A little technical craziness right there.
Bianca is wearing black because the people are treating her some type of way. If you've been paying attention on Raw, the fans have been treating Bianca some type of way. And she's starting to lash out. If you paid attention to how she was speaking, she wasn't really talking about what happened with Jay. She was speaking to the fact that, you know what, y'all been really coming at me. And I'm about sick and tired of it. She's lashing out. That's different than I had something to do with a certain attack. Now, knowing them, they could use it to try to turn into a Jade attack because we still don't know which way they're gonna go because they have done so many different things. It's crazy.
So we'll go back over the comments, but I just got to put Yolanda's up here. Yolanda says, I don't like it either, you stupid fans. Right. I think we're getting a tease, but it's not going to really come through anything. But if it does, I will be laughing at all the, as Yolanda put it, stupid fans.
So that's what that is. All right. Let's see. I got that. All right. You got that. 2 matches to go. WWE Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton defending against Charlotte Flair. If y'all been paying attention to the show, you know who I'm picking.
Right.
If you've been paying attention, you know who I'm picking. So what is this guy picking? That's the question. If you don't know, Cole Johnson will put it in the chat for you, just to let you know.
Tiffy time.
You sticking with the champ.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the champ.
You're not very confident in that pick either.
I have some confidence in my pick.
Dang, Cole. Before I go to the last match, can you put Cole Johnson's coming up? Good gracious. Talking about being on one.
Cole says Tiffany versus Charlotte, double count out. I want to hear Las Vegas boo the fudge out of both girls. Then he says, do the match, have them split, and not do a program for a while. Yolanda says, I want Tiffany to win, but I think they will give it to Charlotte. So there's one good piece about Charlotte Flair. Y'all know I don't have a lot of good things to say about Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair could lose this match, get dominated, and still come out next week and say, all hail the queen. She don't care. And I think that's going to be beneficial for getting Tiffy time going. But at the same time, kind of looking at this like, all right, it's cool that we're doing this. But at the same time, we got to understand Charlotte is going to get another backlash if Tiffy wins now because it's going to be a rematch. I'd rather have Tiffy keep it at WrestleMania and maybe lose the backlash than the other way.
All right. And then the main event. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, with Paul Heyman being in CM Punk's corner. Ladies and gentlemen, I said it before, and I don't think y'all was really paying attention to me, and y'all think I didn't have no credence to this, but I'm going to reiterate it again. Seth Rollins wins, and he also leaves with Paul Heyman.
You know what? I think Seth Rollins wins. Him leaving with Paul Heyman may or may not happen. But I think he wins either way because there's going to be a lot of back and forth between Roman and CM Punk over Paul Heyman. And that's going to allow Seth the opportunity to just sit back and cackle and enjoy himself. And when the time comes, everybody going to get curb stomped and he's going to pick up the win. So I think he's the winner because he's going to be the only one in this match with a solid head. Everybody else is going to be wilding out. He going to be just sitting over there laughing, thinking how much he enjoys this anger that's going on between the other two competitors. So I think he's going to win.
All right, that is night one, ladies and gentlemen. E50, we'll be talking about that on Sunday before night two.
So I will say this, my good people. Be looking at either a Saturday night after or Sunday. We and Playmaker got to figure it out, but those are the two time frames. Either hitting y'all right after it happened or Sunday afternoon.
Night one. For once, night one is not affecting night two.
Which is good. That's kind of what we want, to be honest. Y'all might not know you want that, but you want it. Trust them. Trust me. You want it.
All right, get us out of here.
It's easy to see.
The final Raw before Mania is on now.
All right, so I'm just going to run through here. I'm not even going to put them on the screen. I'm just going to tell you who everybody picked. That way we can get up out of here. Okay? So, Jacob, everybody agreed Jacob. Damian says Jimmy helping Jay win, and Jay turns on Jimmy. I don't get the second part after he helped him win, but that's Damian's thoughts. Can't be wrong with your thoughts on a match that hasn't happened yet. World Heavyweight Championship, Jay must win the title. Otherwise, you kill Jey Uso, the character. He can't even pursue the IC title or US title ever. And that's from Cole Johnson. Cole also says, I get the feeling Gunther is going to go on a break after WrestleMania. That makes sense. Cole says, you mean, I'm going to put this one on screen, Pat McAfee is a MAGA prick. Damian says, Jay wins by DQ thanks to a heel Bianca. Cole says Naomi has to go over. I love Jade, but Naomi is the more powerful character. Yolanda says I can't choose. Cole says if Jade loses, she must not lose clean. So I agree with you, cool. He says, or you can be Rhea and have YT privilege and wind your way into a match. Damien says, Playmaker, think about it. Why is Bianca wearing black and acting heelish leading up to Mania if she was going to turn on Jade?
She didn't start acting heelish till the crowd start treating her some type of way if you paid attention.
Cole says Bianca's having her wardrobe reflect the crappy crowd reaction, which is what Playmaker is saying. Yolanda says, I don't like it either. You stupid fans. We talked about that. Damien says Charlotte's going to win her match. We know what Cole said about that. We know what Yolanda said. Damien said Tiffy versus Charlotte is going to be a bathroom break match. Depending on where it placed on the card, I could definitely agree with that. I could definitely agree. But Charlotte looked different every time she come back and less prettier every time. Damien says Heyman helps Punk win. Roman versus Punk versus Rollins. Rollins will become the next Paul Heyman guy. E50, of course, said who wins, Cody or Cena. Like he said, once we have that on, we're gonna go ahead and set the show up early for y'all, so y'all will know exactly when the show will be, so y'all can make sure y'all tune in. We want y'all's energy and thoughts from the night, then too, WrestleMania. All right. Cole also says, screw in favor of Roman, Heyman's done that. Screw in favor of CM Punk, Heyman's done that. I think WWE's reward for what Rollins did at last year's WrestleMania. It makes sense too. Damien says, what do I have a feeling Rock is going to show up and interfere in this match? And then Yolanda says Seth. So everybody's pretty much saying Seth. I don't think Rock shows up and interferes in this match, but it would be a good place for him to show up and interfere in a match that his other cousin is in for a championship to get championship gold back into the family. Just saying.
He ain't doing that.
I'm not saying he is, but that would make more sense than Damien's scenario, in my opinion.
I think Damien was referring to another match that was actually put on here that we ain't gonna talk about until the weekend.
Well, I mean, maybe so, but I'm just saying. So, that being said, make sure you tell 4 people who are your friends and 4 people who may not like you. Just because they may or may not like you doesn't mean they won't like us. I guarantee they'll like us. And as always, it's never where you start. It's always where you finish. Be prepared. Be looking out. It's going to be either right after WrestleMania or sometime Sunday afternoon before night 2 that we'll be previewing night 2 and reviewing Stand and Deliver in night 1. With that being said, good people, we out for the week. I'll let you folks, and shout out to Real Wise Radio. As always, let's get it.